Material in this episode may not be suitable for all audiences. This content is intended for entertainment purposes only. Who's she? I feel like I should be a lot more afraid right now, but I'm kind of a little numb at the moment. But that was definitely a transparent thing that just went through the room. Okay, alright, she looked lost, maybe I should go help her. No, we're not doing that. No, it looks like we have a story, so we're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Alright, today's story is yet another anonymous story. You guys dive in, immerse yourself into the world. I'll be right by your side the whole time, guys. And maybe, just maybe, someday, somebody will be here with me because it's very scary and I do not like being by myself. Last October, in 2022, I had my second encounter with a spirit. If you are spiritual, you know that the veil is very thin in October. So, a little backstory. Ever since I was a little girl, I could sense unsettling things, especially at night. My room seemed to come alive at night, and at the time, I forced myself to believe it was just horrible nightmares. As I got older, I realized I was constantly seeing shadows at night that should not have been there, but I had never seen an actual spirit appear. After my grandpa passed away, I began to see him in my dreams and actually woke up to an apparition of him standing at the head of my bed, watching my sister and I. And that was my first encounter with an actual spirit. And I have to say, even though it was a family member, it did spook me quite a bit, and I didn't see anything like that again for many years. Flash forward to October 2022. I was 30 at the time and happily prepping for my favorite time of the year, Halloween. The encounters with the shadows had slowly died down over the years, and I hadn't experienced anything too drastic that particular year. I was not prepared for what was about to happen that night. After a seemingly normal day. It was probably midweek. I can't really remember specifics, but I got ready for bed, got in bed, and was watching some TV before I fell asleep. My bed is pushed up against a wall, with one window on either side of the headboard, and the TV and door to the other side of the room, closest to my feet. I turned the TV off and drifted off to sleep. I then woke up to the tingling sensation of someone watching me. I have a faint blue light in the room, but other than that, it's pretty much dark. I suddenly see a figure walk into the bedroom door very slowly. I immediately start feeling around for my cat in the bed. Sure enough, feel his little furry body curled up beside me, That's when a feeling of pure dread washed through my body as I realized that the figure walking through the door was not my cat. I squinted through the darkness and made out a human figure walking toward me. It appeared to be a young girl, maybe about 5 feet tall, if I had to guess around 11 or 12 years old. She was dressed in an old Victorian-looking floor-length gown, pale face. I could make out a bonnet on the top of her head with her curls peeking out around her fragile face. She was transparent and floating in a slow, direct path towards me as I sat up, unable to move in my bed. All the while, I'm freaking out, saying out loud, "Please God, I don't want to see or talk to ghosts. Shadows fine, but ghosts were not my forte. Please, not today, not now." I was frozen there, sitting up in bed, watching as she got closer and closer to me. Suddenly, she turns paths and walks right past the side of me and straight on through my closed window onto the outside. While she was walking past me, I was worried that she would speak to me, but thankfully she didn't. She didn't even notice me as she passed on by with a hollow look in her strange eyes. When I could finally move, I checked my phone to see the time. 3 a.m., of course. It would be the witching hour, a time that haunted me throughout my life. The sense of panic finally settled after she disappeared out through the window, and I suddenly felt sad for this girl. I got this feeling that she was a young soul, lost or trapped, walking around our plane, unfulfilled and forgotten. Given her attire, she had been wandering around this world as a spirit for quite some time, maybe even centuries. I never got the feeling that my house was haunted, and I know in my core the girl was just passing through. I wish I could have helped her move on or something, but I was too petrified to realize what she was doing or what her purpose was at the time. I believe that because the veil was thin, she slipped through the cracks, and because I am sensitive, I just happened to see her that night. Somehow, I actually fell into a peaceful sleep after that. I knew she was gone. Thankfully, she hasn't appeared since then. But sometimes, when I awake at 3 a.m., I can't help but to think of her floating mindlessly through this world on an unending path of darkness. Well, now I feel a little guilty about not trying to find her. But she was a little scary, and I don't think that's my fault. But I probably shouldn't talk to you guys about this. I should probably find a therapist. Anyway, I'm gonna try to find my way back home. Hopefully I don't get sucked in by another story on the way. And maybe when I get home, somebody can tell me what the heck is going on, because I still don't understand why I'm being sucked into all these stories. I mean, it is kind of enjoyable, but I would like to understand it. To anyone out there who has their own true story of the unexplained, go on over to talesfromthewindweaver.com and submit your story. There, you can choose to tell the tale yourself or have a narrator read it for you. Until next time, thank you for listening to Tales from the Windweaver.